Hi and welcome to E-ZTutoring. Today we're going to cover how you can divide polynomials. So dividing polynomials follows the same rule as regular long division, and that rule goes DMSB. A good way to remember this is, does McDonald's sell burgers? Yes, they do. So this stands for division, multiplication, subtraction, and bring down. So first we will start off with division. So we look at the first term of each, really I should say the highest term. So x cubed divided by x. You think, how many times does x go into x cubed? Obviously goes in x squared amount of times. How do I know that? Because x squared times x gives us x cubed. So our answer is x squared for that part. So we must put x squared over here somewhere because this is where we start putting our answer. And you would want to put the x squared above the x squared in this polynomial. So this is very important to keep it organized. All right, so now that we've completed the D step, now we can move on to M. M stands for multiply, which means that you want to take the answer you just found and multiply it by whatever it is you're dividing by. So we do x squared times x, which gives us x cubed, and we're going to put that below the x cubed. And then x squared times 4, which gives us a positive 4x squared, which we will put below the x squared over there. All right, our next step is to subtract. So you want to subtract this whole thing. Now be very, very careful that when you subtract it, you must put the subtraction symbol to the whole thing in parentheses. The subtraction symbol should distribute to every term. So we will do x cubed minus x cubed, which gives us nothing. And we will do 3x squared minus 4x squared, which gives us a negative x squared. So I'm sure this looks familiar to you guys. It is just regular long division, follows the same steps. Our next step is to bring down. So we must bring down the next term, which is a minus 5x. And then we loop back and we start with division again. So now we look at our new stuff, whatever we're left with here, and we must divide this by this. Negative x squared divided by x. How many times does x go into here? It goes in negative x times. And I will put the negative x up here for our answer. And of course we know this because negative x times x gives us negative x squared, which is what we want. All right, so now we can move on to the next step, which is multiply. So we can multiply negative x times all of this. So negative x times x gives us negative x squared. Negative x times 4 gives us minus 4x. Our next step is, of course, to subtract. And like I said, you do want to subtract the entire thing. Negative x squared minus negative turns into plus. Plus x squared is nothing. They just cancel out. Your first terms will always cancel out. If they don't, then you did something wrong. Negative 5x minus negative 4x. So that's like saying negative 5x plus 4x, which gives us negative x. All right, our next step is to bring down. So we want to bring down the negative 4. And you want to keep going until you're left with 0, until you have a remainder of 0. All right, so now we can go back to our first letter. We loop back and we want to divide. So we divide this by this. What is negative x divided by x? How many times does x go into negative x? It goes in there negative 1 times because negative 1 times x is negative x. All right, so our next step is to multiply. We multiply negative 1 by all of this, and we get negative x minus 4. And our next step is to subtract. Once again, we must subtract the whole thing, distribute that negative. So negative x plus x, because 2 negatives, cancels. Negative 4 plus 4, because 2 negatives, cancels, and we are left with 0. There's nothing else to bring down because we're done, and we're left with 0. So this is our remainder. When you get a remainder of 0, that is excellent news. That means the x plus 4 went in there perfectly. So your answer will be whatever's up top. x squared minus x minus 1 is your answer when you divide this polynomial by x plus 4. So that is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys ever want ACT or SAT help, be sure to visit my website, www.E-ZTutoring.com. Thank you guys, and good luck with this.